Assalamualaikum students. I hope you all are good. This is Anjum Wahid and I will be your teacher for physics in grade 12th. Dear students, this physics has 10 units and its first unit is electrostatics. In today's lesson, first of all we will talk about the electrostatics and then charge. After this the production of charge, and at the end we will talk about the properties of charge. Now first of all, what is electrostatics? Basically, the electrostatics is made up of two words. The first one is electro, which means charges or electrons, and statics, which means at rest. The study of charges at rest is called electrostatics. Or you can say the study of charges at rest under the influence of force. And this force is called Coulomb force, and it can be calculated with the help of Coulomb's law that we will discuss in our next lesson. Now, what is charge? Charge is an intrinsic property of fundamental particle that causes it to experience a force when placed in an electromagnetic field. To understand it, let's have an example of sodium and chlorine. In case of sodium, there are 11 electrons in its outermost shell, while in case of chlorine, there are 17 electrons in its outermost shell. To get stability, sodium needs to lose its one electron, while chlorine needs to gain one electron. As a result, sodium will get positive charge and chlorine will get negative charge. Now, what is the production of charge? Actually, charges are produced due to rubbing. To understand this, let's have an activity. Take a comb and rub it with your hairs. Now bring the comb near to the pieces of paper. You will see the pieces of paper starting attracting towards the comb. Basically, whenever you rub the comb with your hairs, the extra charges from the hairs are transferred to the comb, and as a result the comb is charged. So rubbing produces charge due to friction. Now, what are the properties of charge? Charge is a scalar quantity. They can be added just like numerical values. For example, if a body has charge Q1 3 coulomb, Q2 4 coulomb and Q3 5 coulomb, then the total charge will be the sum of these three charges, that will be equal to 12 coulomb. So charge have additive in nature. Now, charge is a conserved quantity. It cannot be created nor destroyed, but can be transferred from one body to another body. We all are familiar that rubbing produces charge, but rubbing does not create charge. It is transferred from object to another object. For example, in case of Teflon and silk, when we rub Teflon with silk, then extra charges from silk is transferred to the Teflon, and as a result, silk get positive charge while Teflon get negative charge. In the case of nuclear reaction, you can see here the gamma ray photon has zero charge and it is transferred into the positron as well as electron. Here total charge is 0, and in the right hand side this equation is total charge again will be 0. This charge is plus 1 and here this charge is minus 1. So total charge will be 0. So here you see that total charge on left hand side as well as right hand side is 0. So it means charges are conserved. In the case of other reaction, you can see the radioactive decay and high energy particle reactions, the total charges on the left hand side as well as the right hand side are equal. So charges are conserved. Now, charge is a quantized quantity. To understand the quantization, again let's have an example. Whenever you go to a baker and ask them about eggs, you normally say I need 1 egg, or I need 2 eggs, or I need 3 eggs. You can't say I need 1.5 eggs or I need 2.5 eggs, because eggs are existing in the discrete form. Similarly, charges exist in the discrete form. Charges exist in the form of 1e, 2e, 3e and 4e. It cannot be existing in the form of 1.5e, 2.5e or 3.5e. So generally you can see that Q is equal to Ne, where N is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to so on, and E is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised power minus 19 coulomb. So charge is a quantized quantity. Now, charges at rest produces electric field. Here you can see there are two charges, positive as well as negative. Both charges are producing electric field. But the difference is this: in case of positive charge, the electric field are directing outwards, while in the case of negative charge, the electric field are existing inwards. So this is the main difference between the direction of the electric field lines of positive and negative charge. Now charge is moving with uniform velocity. Whenever charge is moving with uniform velocity, they produce electric field as well as magnetic field. For example, in case of this solenoid, you can see whenever charges are flowing through this coil, then there will be the production of current, and as a result there will be the magnetic field in its surrounding. So whenever charges are moving with uniform velocity, there is the production of magnetic field along with electric field. Now what will happen if charges are moving with non-uniform velocity? If charges are moving with non-uniform velocity, then there is the production of electromagnetic waves. Here you can see there are two waves. First wave is red and second one is blue. Red wave shows the electric field while blue wave shows the magnetic field. And here you can see both waves are propagating in the perpendicular to each other. Both are perpendicular to each other. Dear students, this is the whole story for today's lesson. We will see you again. Till then, goodbye.